and welcome to Geeks Under Glass, where we take a closer look at all things nerd ephemera. Join us as our hosts, Drew and Few, walk through the geekdom minutiae you never realized you cared for. Here they are with today's topic.
Good day, all. I am Drew.
I am Few.
Been a little bit of a hiatus for us. My work schedule has gone a little haywire this time of year, so
Mine has gone wheat wire.
I'm leaving that alone. Boo! What? Honestly, the first thing I have to do is, by the time you hear this,
We will be dead.
that's a little dark.
Didn't say it was a good thing.
No, but by the time this you'll hear this, the last episode will actually finally be up, so my apologies for the time that it's taking to get up. Beyond technical difficulties, it's just a matter of just time in a day. There's only 24 hours, and unfortunately, all of our attempts at stopping time have failed miserably. If you don't get that reference, go back and listen to our first show. Actually, I did want to bring this up.
Oh dear.
Bit of a bombshell. But yet one more reason why I will never again watch another video by Screw Attack.
Let's hear it.
Well, going back to, and we discussed this before, I forget her name now.
Yang.
Yang from Ruby versus Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. Guess why? Figure that. All right, you know what? I'm just going to go out with it. Ready?
Ready.
Ruby was created by a gentleman who passed away.
Mateo.
Yes. Guess who has been the ones that have been animating and bringing his artistic endeavor to life?
Machinima.
Which is part of Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth owns Screw Attack. We're talking about a serious conflict of interest here.
Okay, are you serious with this, Woodward and Bernstein?
Yes, I most certainly am. Of course. Think about it for a second. They're trying to put over what, the owner of this conglomerate.
Wow, you were
is.
digging way too much into this.
Not really, and this was
really.
No, this was actually brought to my attention by the ladies.
Commenter actually.
Yeah,
I happened to see the comment in that video.
Well, he brought up that part, which thankfully, I thank very much for. But no,
I still can't believe Screw Attack got bought by Rooster Teeth.
I know, that was really
because
wild.
it's been around for a while.
I know, but it makes sense. Eventually, they would be picked up.
I guess this means Bob Chipman works for Rooster Teeth. That kind of sounds awesome.
Interesting.
I like the guy.
We've noticed.
Hey, I keep name drops of him to a minimum.
All right, we're good. But no, it was funny because it was actually the ladies at Anime America that brought that to my attention.
Ah.
I did not originally realize that Ruby was being produced by Rooster Teeth.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that because, as I said, I swore it off.
I could have told you.
Come on, we don't get to talk very much. This is pretty rare. But so then I was sitting down and I had it on in the background because I always have to have something. ADHD is a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, I need something.
There always has to be something else going on to, And actually, it's odd. A distraction helps me focus. It's very odd, but that's how an ADHD brain works.
Well, it's because you're not trying to suss out everything. You already got some blanket noise, and you just know, okay, this is just, Desperate Housewives. I can ignore this.
Well, I wasn't ignoring it. It's, just one of those things. But, and then they mentioned, of course, that Ruby was being produced by Rooster Teeth. And then I thought for a second, I stopped and went, now wait a minute here. Rooster Teeth has also acquired Screw Attack. They're not going to downplay one of the main heroines to a show that they are producing. It's, you know what this is?
I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean,
It's WWE 101.
She's already lost one fight, though.
Who cares?
I do!
She may have lost it in the show.
Yes.
But that helps to push the storyline. However, in something outside of that,
it doesn't matter. It's like Deadliest Warrior. I mean, yeah, I have my favorite side, but it's like not like I'm gonna like them less. Like, oh
No,
no,
of course.
American
But
gangsters
I'm saying-
beat the Yakuza.
Yeah,
I guess
no,
I'm gonna have to stop liking Japanese stuff
Yeah,
now.
no. But my point being, it makes sense now as to why they severely handicapped Tifa.
I swear, you
in
were making it
favor
seem
of
like
this.
a million times more sinister than it needs to be.
You know, it's not sinister. It's just
You
human
make
nature.
it sound sinister.
No,
you
it's
make
just
this sound like it's Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit.
No. It's just human nature.
By the way,
now I
Christopher Lloyd
realize
was
I did.
amazing in that, wasn't he?
Yes, which is really weird. But
Why was that weird?
just who they decided to do it and that it worked.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant like it was weird that he was good.
No. But no, I'm just pointing out, not that it's like some huge conspiracy or something like that. I'm just pointing out that because of the human nature, now the pieces fall into place, and now I understand why they did what they did. I still
Whatever helps
despise
you
them
sleep
for
at
it.
night, to be honest.
I still despise them for it, without a doubt.
I will admit, this past episode was a tad lackluster.
Really,
Well,
I don't know what it is. I ignore.
Okay, basically, here's how it goes. Some teaser stuff about the robot chick.
Mhm.
Here's the thing about 3D animation. Sometimes, the way a person looks, their expressions and whatnot, aren't quite as clear as in 2D. And I'm not sure if like, I think one of the good people might be bad.
Interesting.
And it's definitely not one I would have suspected. So I'm not sure if it's just that, or if it was like poor animation, or if it was the shapeshifter pretending to be the good girl. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't think it was though. Oh, by the way, Yuri Lowenthal is in it now.
Really?
Yeah, and also, Yuri Lowenthal's a guy.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that. Every time I happen to notice his name, it's always in some anime where it's got like that what's her name? Did you ever watch Clannad?
Yes.
Kyo Fuyabashi, the tomboy.
Oh,
one.
okay. Yeah.
That voice. And it's always had that, vaguely British sounding chick in it every time I've noticed his name.
Yeah.
So I always thought it was a she.
I think that falls similarly into the line of how, at least in the English dubs of Naruto, how Naruto young, old, it's the same woman doing the voice. I think it's just because of the style of the way they can voice act.
Oh yeah.
So it just works better that way.
I can see that. I mean, I never thought, oh wow, this must be a completely different person.
Yeah,
Especially in the dubs. I mean, I've never heard the especially in the dubs. I've never even really heard the subs. So.
Gotcha. Oh, anyway.
Also,
Yes.
Samurai Jack.
Okay.
It's coming back, buddy.
Really?
Yes.
I'm surprised at that.
Well, it's coming to a conclusion. It was never actually technically finished.
Oh.
It ended on a weird sort of almost Cowboy Bebop note. Basically, it's just, no, I say it because it kind of has that sort of like futuristic noir feel to it.
Which is really too bad because I like the way that Cowboy Bebop ended.
I have never watched it through to its entirety. I've only seen like a small handful of episodes.
You are missing out.
Oh, I'm
desperately
sure.
missing out.
I'm sure.
It's a fantastic anime. I mean, easily into my top 5 best anime of all time.
I can see that. I've seen the movie.
Well, and the thing is, the way that it ended, it sucks the way it ended, but it's the only way it could have ended. It fit the anime.
I already
perfectly.
know he dies.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
But
no,
if you
I
haven't watched it by now, you're freaking nut. Go watch it now anyway.
It's like spoiling the second Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
It's been out for 30 years. You've had your chance.
Yeah, right. But going back, I had a question for you.
Let's hear it.
Again, on Ruby. Anime or not anime? It's American.
I know.
It has no Japanese content to it at all. Except for artistic style.
Well, not even that. I wasn't even going with that. I mean, it does have some. It has some.
It's one of those ones that could fit.
I mean, you do the
right
sweat drops, the lumpy bruise thing, the little throbbing vein thing.
It literally falls into that gray area.
It's
that
like with
exists.
Avatar and Korra and Perfect Hair Forever.
Want to get slapped?
Can I just say I love Quaffio in that?
Oh,
Get out. Just that voice, my God. It was just... It was a stupid voice, but it worked.
Oh, Lord.
My dear robot, you must walk into a bomb, you a-hole. Just,
Anyway.
God. I'm not gonna... As much as I would like to call it anime, it is technically a cartoon. It's like how champagne can only come from France, or, and this is true, I think it's, if it's not true, I'm only like wrong by degrees. Bourbon can only come out of, it's either Kentucky or Tennessee. It's a very, like, it's one of those strict region lock things.
Well, the reason I
where it gets to the point where it's like no longer just about the style, it's also about where it originates.
Well, the only reason I say anything about it at all is, honestly, the word anime is just the short.
Oh yeah. It's like Pokemon. It doesn't really translate
animation.
into anything.
It's just Japanese animation that they shorten down to the word anime.
Indeed.
You know, it just definitely has its own style, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But sorry, it's hard to pinpoint. Like I said, I think for myself, I think there's a gray area. It's not a wide gray area or a deep gray area between strict, cartoon and anime. But I think that falls pretty well right in the middle of that gray area.
Oh yeah. I will say this: 3D cartoons are very, of that style, are very unconventional.
Yes.
I mean, when there was a sudden advent of those 3D cartoons that came out during the late 2000s, for large part, it just did not appeal.
Yeah.
They did not look even
Well, it's
good.
In the opening sequence for in Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, the opening sequence is all in that 3D computer-generated animation.
Yeah, but that's actually good. That's actually well done.
It was well done, but it
talking
had some odd features to it, but then they switch immediately into the regular 2D animation.
When I'm talking 3D, I'm talking like Jimmy Neutron.
Oh,
yeah. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
That was just awful.
Yeah, I didn't know. So, anyway.
That's right, Jimmy Neutron. Come at us.
Yeah, right. Nickelodeon.
Although, it's actually kind of funny you mentioned that, Nickelodeon, because I'm trying to figure something out. I stumbled across a little bound book. You know how you can buy all the comic books like a good little person.
Yeah, trade paperback.
Okay, that's what it's called. Or you can get one of those where it's like issues 1 through 5. Well, I found one of those at my library for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
It's apparently a 6th printing under Nickelodeon and IDW. And I wasn't quite sure if it was a remake or if it was just a re-release.
I'm not sure.
And part of me just thinks it...
I mean, I know they remade TMNT.
Oh yeah, I will say this: I am a fan of Donatello just because I'm a fan of the guy that does his voice. It's that guy that was in Animaniacs.
It's acceptable.
Oh yeah, the whole weird. I hate Casey Jones. I just want to say that.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, he will never be as cool as he was in the first movie.
Yeah. Well, that was
As far as I'm concerned, that was awesome.
Well, it's
I kind of came around to making April O'Neil a teenager just because they actually gave her something interesting to do.
It gives it more of a. Before it was almost like she's the mom figure in the group, and they had the teenaged Mutant Ninja Turtles almost adult. Now they're actually all kids, with the only actual adult being Splinter.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah. But you were mentioning about you enjoy something simply for the person who voices it. It's like I'm a big fan of the guy who does the voice for Ryu Ishida from Bleach.
Him.
Yes.
He's got a weird, kind of nasally, raspy voice, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's done a lot of work, and I hate it because I'm drawing a total blank on his name.
I want to say Greg Ayres.
Yes. Yep. That's it. Thank you. Yes, that would have bugged me until I got home and saw that a good friend of mine.
Or is it his brother?
Don't start with me.
No, I'm serious. I think it's Greg Ayres.
No, it is.
Okay, because he also played this weird nose dude on speed graphic.
Never saw that.
It's a weird little show. If you don't mind a little bit of kink, basically, this guy, he did film shoots in the war, and he can only get if he's looking at something through his camera. I mean, it's not like anything through his camera will do it, but like,
yeah, the specifics.
and
yeah.
so he finds like this Eyes Wide Shut cult party, and this guy paid like $10,000 to receive the blessing from the goddess. The goddess is like a 14-year-old girl. She accidentally kisses the photographer. Now, whenever he takes a picture of something through his camera, whatever he's taking a picture of blows up, be it person or object or whatever. And basically, it's him versus all these other people who receive the blessing of the goddess. That basically turns their, I'm assuming, fetish. I could be wrong, but it tends to run along the line of fetish. But it's not like panty and stocking where it's like, you know, whatever. It's like, oh, you know, I'm a dentist and I like inflicting pain on people. I've got these weird friggin' Doc Ock tentacles that can sprout out of my back at a moment's notice with like all these weird implements that I can just like eviscerate you with.
Oh, awesome.
Or this dude who has like he's got like a Black Widow tattoo that can like crawl off of him, you know, and crawl onto somebody else, and then whenever he wishes, bite them and kill them.
Interesting.
And just there's this dude, I don't know, I forget what he does, but he wears this nose guard because his nose is like moth level sensitive.
Wow.
So yeah, that's it. So basically he just takes off the thing and he can just all of a sudden smell all the things.
Interesting.
And that's who Greg Ayres played.
Huh.
Apparently he also played the kid from Beck Mongolian Chop Squad.
Well, the only reason I really know that, as well as I do, is shout out to a friend of mine, Carrie. She actually met him, and I was not able to go to the convention that she was going to.
I have yet to go to a convention.
I know, neither have I, and I was really bummed because I was supposed to go, and then I ended up having to work. But she went and got his autograph for me.
Oh, that's awesome. What's
Yeah.
Did she say what he's like?
Nice guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so.
It's really awesome when they're nice people.
Well, yeah, he personalized it for me and everything.
Ah, neat.
So, yeah, it wasn't just a simple. It was, you know, my name and the whole bit.
Oh, your name.
I know, right?
Fancy.
Right.
Boy.
Anyway.
Oh,
Yes.
did you hear about the latest on Konami?
I know there's a hashtag going around about Konami, but no, probably not.
You don't know about Hideo Kojima?
No.
Okay. Apparently there was some award ceremony of recent, and he was informed that a contract he signed with Konami basically forbade him from attending.
Interesting.
Not even to, I'm not sure if he was there to present an award or accept an award. I think it was accepting an award. I think it was accepting an award for Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, which looks awesome. Looks awesome.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was doing so well. So, I guess the guy who was presenting the award, he mentioned it and it got a huge boo. Well, I mean, you'd boo, wouldn't you?
That's a good reason, another good reason why there's the F Konami hashtag running around right now. No one likes Konami right now. No.
Oy. Okay, so we're talking about that.
Oh,
by the by.
Oh, go ahead.
How much of our stuff were we able to save from last time?
Almost nothing.
Ah, damn it.
Unfortunately, folks, we actually had another show that was set to go before this one, and our technology decided to...
Much like Blood Ocean, it was never meant to be seen by human eyes.
Or heard by human ears, in this case. Yeah, it just vanished into the ethereal, you know, plane where all things technological go when they just, you know, vanish.
I learned Brett Butler died and had a breakdown because of it.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it was a bit of a shock.
Do you need a cry session, though?
Oh, no, I got it all out there.
Oh, okay.
I can't fake it.
Okay. Do you need a rant session about it now? That's what
Curse
this is
you,
for.
death, how dare you? That's pretty much it, you know.
Hey, I'm notorious for going on rants.
Oh yeah, I can't just summon them up. I have to actually feel them organically.
Well, that's me too. But then again, the thing of it is, I can take a rant as I feel it coming, and just move it to the back of my head, and it stays there, and just.
Oh, I can do that. I just can't deliver it with the same gravitas that I feel it with.
Well, the nice thing is for me, it's like, the old adage of putting it on the back burner. It literally does just sit there and simmer and keeps going until I spew it out. And then once I spew it out, it brings it back to the front burner and kicks it up to high heat and a boil that fast.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how my brain works.
Oy. It's a wonder it's a wonder anything, really.
Yeah, we'll go with it.
I am that at a loss for words.
Well, hey, considering it's been how many weeks since we've actually put together a show?
It has been a bit.
Yeah. So, as we're moving into the
by the
Christmas
by,
season.
Yeah, since it is the season, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is the Christmas song you hate the most?
Santa Baby.
Really?
Cannot stand it.
Wow.
Also, anything done by Spike Jonze, because he's just annoying.
For those of us that don't really pay attention to who comes up with what are some of the songs he's done?
He's the one that takes, things like Two Front, All I Want for Christmas, My Two Front Teeth, or One Hippopotamus for Christmas.
Dude, come on, the hippopotamus!
But the problem is, the voice that he does them in is grating, especially after the 87th time in a row.
I will agree with you on Two Front Teeth, but I loves me hippopotamus.
But no, and the reason I despise Santa Baby is because it has been done to death.
Nice.
That was actually organic in and of itself.
Indeed.
Yeah.
For me, it's innocuous. It is like the buzzing of flies to me.
Yeah, see, it used to be like that, and then it was just so often that eventually it just broke down the wall and
apparently there was
got to a raw nerve.
There was a male version.
Yes.
That used to drive one of my coworkers insane.
Michael Bublé.
Are you kidding me?
Actually, his isn't too bad.
I am at a loss.
Yeah.
I mean,
if I have to listen to any of them, I'll listen to his. Because his is different.
Did his have like guitar in it or no?
I don't remember, honestly.
Because the one that drove my coworker up the wall had a guitar in it.
I don't think his did.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think it was Bublé then.
Okay.
I will say this, for me... Oh, no, I didn't know what that was. Oh. I saw numbers flying across the screen. I panicked. No, I was trying to remember the combination from Lost.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure that our volume was up. No big deal.
Okay, cool. I had to. You threw me with that Spike Jonze thing. For me, one of them is just, it's not even the actual song itself, it's just a version of the song. Mm-hmm. You know the song, Waiting for the Man with the Bag? Yeah. Christmas is coming again. There's this guy, he's got like a swing band going behind him, but he's got like this jazzy voice. And it's just, it's pathetic. I mean, it sounds like, I'm gonna try and make this cool. I'm gonna make you love me and think I'm awesome. Yeah. But it's like, dude, we know you're not fooling anybody.
Yeah. How many different ways can you ruin, Christmas song classics? It's basically all we have.
Oh, there are ways.
Yeah, and unfortunately, well, see, here's the thing. My missus loves the on Time Warner. There's a station. It's called Sounds of the Seasons. Mm-hmm. She loves to turn that on because she is a Christmas fanatic. There's no other way to describe it. Our house right now looks like Christmas exploded in it. And she turns it on, and so it just rolls over and over. And even she had to actually turn it off the other day because it got a whole bunch of the really crappy radio mix version, and it got into this 2-hour loop that they must have didn't realize that they still had it on a 2-hour loop, and so every 2 hours they were just recycling the exact same crappy songs over and over.
Oh, something awesome happened when I was listening to the radio on the way home from work the other day. I was driving home, and I heard this, probably not in its entirety. I mean, they didn't let it finish naturally, but they were playing it more to prove a point than anything else. I heard the internet is for porn.
Oh, good lord.
No, it's an awesome song. It is an awesome song. Trust me.
Is this running along the lines of Tig Old Biddies?
I've never heard Tig Old Biddies. This is from a musical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. This basically, this woman's teaching a class. Her next door neighbor keeps, like, at the end of every sentence she says, it's like fortune cookies. He just keeps chiming in for porn, you know. And then she
kind of like throwing "That's what she said" at the end of certain things to make
I
it
mean
dirty.
like how like in fortune cookies you're supposed to add the word "in bed" to the end of every fortune.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never done it, but I've heard it's a thing. I don't have these things called friends.
That would be very odd with some of them, like, you will have good fortune at work.
In bed.
Your boss will give you a raise.
Well, I went like Mickey Mouse there for a second. Oh God, I can't remember.
Better.
I will say this. I will say this. It's not Christmas shoes, only because, by some miraculous virtue, I've never heard Christmas shoes.
I've heard it once or twice, but they don't play it very often.
I think it's just because of, like, everyone is already aware that everyone hates it. I mean, once you make it into a Rob Lowe movie, you're kind of...
I know. They'll make anything of it. They're making Krampus a freaking movie.
Well, they're making it as a horror, and from what I've heard, as far as horror movies go, it's like a solid B-, C+. I'm just saying, as far as like horror movies have been lately, that is a welcome. That is welcome.
My thing is, it's like...
I mean, a found footage movie in 3D. What even? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm drawing a blank on
Paranormal
it.
Activity.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, okay. It's just...
Boy.
The problem with that is, everyone is trying to recapture what the original Blair Witch did with the found footage thing.
At least Paranormal Activity 1
The original
and
was...
debatably 2
The
were
original was a
good.
good idea. Yeah, it had
Well,
a
they were
good
written
premise.
they were written by the same guy, though.
Yeah, it had a good premise. It had a decent... And it wasn't all...
3 was a tad ridiculous.
Yeah, everything...
4 was right out.
By that time, they were just
4 was
phoning
just
it
bad.
in.
5 is right out.
Yeah, if they're phoning it in at that point, they don't
Well,
even care.
like after 2, Oren Pelly stopped writing scripts.
Yeah.
That's why. Although I will say this, there is one huge thing I have against the Chernobyl Diaries, which he also wrote.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's this one part where they're running from Chernobyl mutants, and they got some, like, angry dogs coming at them. They run away from the dogs back towards the Chernobyl mutants. Yeah, exactly.
Ow.
I will say this. It is a fun movie to hate on. I mean, it's not like Quarantine, where you're just watching it and you're like, you wish you could think of something funny to complain about, but you can't because it's really that awful.
Well, come on, when the big bad guy looks like just a homeless dude in his underpants.
Well, yeah, but you see him for like 5 seconds. You got like an hour and a half of keep the light on me to deal with before that.
It's the huge buildup. It's like the original Incredible Hulk movie that they did.
What, the Ang Lee?
Was that the one? I can't remember
Eric
now.
Bana.
Yeah, where they do all this build up and
it was
like,
him versus Red Hulk.
No, this is a different one. And this was the original out of the recent.
Oh, him
groupings
versus
of-
Tim Roth.
It might have been. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it was Tim Roth.
Yeah, where you only actually see the Hulk for like the last 5 or 10 minutes of the movie or something. It was really bad.
I thought you saw him a lot more than that.
I think it was a very small amount of time.
I think
the
there was
Hulk
a small amount of time that he
moving.
actually like fought. I mean, he was Hulk. He just didn't fight often.
Nah. The whole point of the Hulk is he's supposed to be smashing things up. You know, which is the whole point to the line in the throwaway line in the Avengers movie by Captain America. At the
I
end, he
remember,
goes,
yes.
Hulk, smash! And Hulk gets that stupid kitty
Grin.
grin and goes and starts to smash.
It was a fun grin.
Yeah. I do have a complaint about that, though. Hulk is supposed to be...
Are you mad because of the "I'm always angry" line?
No, that actually was a great idea. I love that idea. If he's always angry, it takes a lot more of anger to release the Hulk, or a spot where he's in mortal danger.
So what? It's like a tolerance level.
Kind of, yeah. Like if he's always angry, and he's keeping that anger at a boil or like at a simmer, well, then there's no reason for the Hulk to come out, because that's the new norm. But no, it was the whole point where, like, especially towards the end, where Hulk gives a flying crap about anyone else. The whole point is Hulk was Hulk. He didn't think. He was animalistic in his thoughts.
Wait, what are you talking about?
The Hulk, when he came out, he did not want to be with anybody.
Yeah, I don't exactly recall him explicitly teaming up with people.
Look at the end of the movie, especially like,
when he yells at Robert Downey.
Even before that, when they're all standing in a circle and there's all the things around him, why is he standing back to back with any of them? He should be just rampaging still.
You gotta have something for the trailer.
Why did he save Iron Man? Why does he care?
He didn't save him. He just yelled at him. Like,
he caught him. Otherwise, he would have crashed into the earth and really would have been splattered. Yeah. So it's like, I get it.
Speaking of trailers, sorry. You've made your point. I have nothing to respond to it with. Let's just accept that. Did you see the new Batman Superman trailer?
No, I have not.
Oh, you disappoint.
Well, the problem is I've been under wraps because of the new job.
It's 2 minutes, man. Are you telling me you don't have 2 minutes?
I may have 2 minutes, but it doesn't mean I've come across it in my 2 minutes.
I came across it within 5 seconds within my 2 minutes. My God! I will say this. I do like Jesse Eisenberg.
Okay. I'll have to look. Is this new movie that they're releasing?
Yeah, it's the Dawn of Justice one.
Dawn of Justice. Okay.
It's Batman v Superman, World's Finest, featuring Doomsday.
Nice. That'll be interesting.
Oh,
actually. Yeah. I would actually like to have seen the Doomsday arc as a movie.
Oh,
that would be
the
a
Death
movie.
and Life of Superman.
Not even so much the whole thing, but just the Doomsday shows up. You could literally
as far as
that's something you could condense down.
I will
easily.
say this: as far as speculation's gone, since Doomsday's shown up, people are already starting to wonder whether or not it's going to be a Death of Superman kind of ending.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason I say that is because, like, in Civil War, where Civil War brought together number of storylines. A lot of storylines.
It looks
together into it.
I swear, there's just something so bizarre about just watching Winter Soldier and Cap beat up on Iron Man.
Yeah.
It just looked. Oh my God! It looked downright.
Yeah. I kind of hope that they release the
Kraken. Come on, you set me up. You set me up.
Deadpool movie. Anyway.
I am looking forward to that too.
Yeah. I'm hoping they do that before Civil War, but who knows?
Well, that's Fox, so.
Yeah. The thing of it is, with the Superman Doomsday, the whole arc that they did there, that's easily condensable because the vast bulk of it is the fight.
They already did like what, a hour and a half cartoon movie of it, didn't they?
I think they did, but it wasn't. It was very loose following of the comics. But my thing is, you could take even what the comics were and condense that pretty successfully because the bulk of it is their fight. The bulk of this arc is their fight.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You have him crash landing on Earth, and then within half a comic, they're already duking it out. And then that spans over quite a little ways until Superman realizes that the things sticking off of him are actually bone, and he can break them off, and that actually hurts him. And before long, you get to the end of it, and Superman croaks. Well, you could cut out large chunks of that, or you could even do the whole thing. You could do the entire fight because you can move the fight along much more quickly than a comic book can.
I will say this. More because I saw the show and I wasn't so much into the comics. It's actually kind of a funny story why I was never really into comics growing up. Like, I wanted to because it seemed like, okay, I'm a kid, I'm supposed to like comic books. Okay? So I grab one, and it's Spider-Man versus some hunter who isn't Craven.
Okay.
And basically,
Yeah, there's been a number of those. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, like, he's fighting the guy. The guy, hits him with his own webbing, but like, he's just waiting for the guy to like, regain consciousness. So he's like, oh, you're finally awake, Spider-Man. Now I can, have you watch me kill you. And he's like, okay, how long was that? About an hour. Perfect. And he's getting ready to like beat the guy, and all of a sudden a Sentinel shows up, to, like almost kill them both. And it's like, if you want to see how this continues, you can go to, Spider-Man issue 345 or Sentinel issue 126. And I'm like, hey, 2?
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not ready for this.
It
was a bad start. Well, this was back in the 90s.
Yeah, there was a lot of convoluted crossing overs. Yeah.
We all remember how comics in the 90s ended.
Yeah.
Horribly.
Yes. Everybody was overly, hugely muscled, and
well, not even that. It was just like
blood and gore. And
I mean, for like for this thing, I had to like get Spider-Man, who I know, and Sentinel, which I knew nothing about and cared nothing about. And you compare that to...
There was a bleed over from the X-Men.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I know who Sentinel is.
Mm.
But, like, compare it to... You're probably going to hate me. Sonic. No. I feel like Randy Marsh. No. But basically... And I have a point here, and it's simply this. I used to read the Sonic comics... the comic books, and say what you will about the in-game stories, the comics are infinitesimally better. Okay?
That's a small amount. Infinitesimal is a small amount.
Exponentially better.
Okay, that'll work better.
Sorry, I thought it meant like an infinite amount.
No, infinitely better.
Okay, well,
infinitesimal is a tiny amount. Infinite is much larger. Is an infinite amount.
I made an oopsie.
Yes, you did.
So
sorry, being an author, that sort of thing sticks with me, and so yeah.
Go tell it to Dean Koontz.
Shut up, Dean. Continue.
Okay, basically, the story is great.
I'm sorry, I just not to interrupt you again, but I just said that, and then I'm thinking to myself like. I said that, and I get the image of my head of him, like he was about to say something, and I said, "Shut up, Dean," and he went, "Oh," and walked away.
Nobody loves Koontz.
I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I love the story. I love the comics. Unfortunately, I fell out of pace with them, and I haven't really gotten myself back in because I fell out of it at like a really bad time to fall out of it. Like this one bad guy, Nagus, he's got all these like literal inner demons. They're like trying to, wrest themselves from his body or take control over it. And meanwhile, he's trying to be like the most evilly benevolent, ruler of this town.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, like he's evil, but everyone knows he's evil. But he's like, it's like when Lex Luthor is president, or when Green Goblin runs S.H.I.E.L.D. Like everyone knows he's a bad guy, but he hasn't done anything bad. So it's not like we can do anything to stop him. And it's one of those things. It's like, you broke my back. You broke the law. He has a point.
Nice.
So it's just, and really, to follow this excellent story, you know how many comics I needed? 2 series. And it wasn't like, guy we're trying to help push his sales along. No, it was The Adventures of Sonic and Sonic the Hedgehog. 2 comics, that's all I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like, I mean, you could technically read them separate of each other, but it just made it feel so much better reading them together.
Yeah. What was the nice thing about the Civil War arc was it was very similar. You could read the Spider-Man arc of the Civil War arc, and you could read it standalone, or you could also go and get all the other arcs that go with it, and that just expanded the story that much better. So, well, on that happy note, and the fact that we're nearly at 40 minutes,
yay, we're back, baby.
Yeah, you realize everybody turned us off 39 minutes and 30 seconds ago, right?
With this shit again.
Yeah, right. But anyway, this will obviously be the last episode we have before Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Yep, so Merry Christmas to everyone. But until next time, I'm Drew.
I am Hugh.
Take it easy.
Adieu.